All right, brother.
So,
We're
5.5
in the
hours.
we're in the home stretch. Matty B is coming on.
Okay.
He's on the way home. So, I might do a bit about mobile. If we want to talk about mobile, it's come up a lot in the conversation.
Heck yeah.
And then we'll
Let's
do
do it.
your the sales. So
Yeah, let's do it.
It's going to be splurgy because it's really late.
That's fine.
So it fascinates me when I hear people talk about mobile. So there's a couple of things. Everybody associates mobile with apps, right?
Yeah.
Which it is. Okay. But the interesting thing is there's more search done on mobile than on desktop, right? So to me, there's three pillars.
I'm constantly, I know I'm not like statistically significant here, but I constantly am looking up and searching for things on this phone.
Yeah.
Always.
You pick it up. It was interesting when I did marketing. I told you this story, but just to share it with the people watching. When I did marketing 30 odd years ago, for the first time, the guy I learned from was a guy called Murray Rayfield. He was a very clever guy, and he always said that you sit down to read a book, but you pick up a newspaper, and that's always stayed with me, right? Because the way you write, the way you do copy, all the rest of it is completely different for the two things. And it's the same. Magazines kind of in the middle, but you'd pick up a magazine and skim a magazine as well, right? Yeah. So when you're designing an ad and you're doing stuff, and to me, the changes, sit down to go on your desktop, but you pick up your phone.
Yeah.
Right. And it's the same mentality. So when you start looking at it, it actually we behave differently, we act differently, and we've got a complete different feeling towards it. Like the phone has become it's only 7 years old. Like the iPhone store is only like 7 years old.
Yeah, it's like attached.
Yeah, it's in human terms, they're still in primary school here, like whatever is called young school in America, whatever you call it. Right?
Yeah, elementary
school. So like it really is in its infancy. And then when you look at what Facebook have done and how Facebook have changed it, and what Facebook did was extremely intelligent, and people missed it. A lot of people missed it. So what Facebook do is they don't interrupt you. They give you the option of engaging with it. So they drop the ads into the newsfeed. Because when I go into an app, like even Google have done this. Google have separated all their apps. So you go into Gmail, it's Gmail. You go into Calendar, it's Calendar. You go into anything and it's separated. Yeah. So what they're actually doing is they're allowing you complete the activity that you want to complete without interrupting you. If you want to go off and engage on something else that has relevance to what you're doing, that makes sense. So to me, there's three pillars of mobile, right? And we'll keep this reasonably simple. There's search, social, and there's app, right? Now, I get approached by people constantly because myself and Matt had a top hit app, which is the one that's up behind me, where all the journey started for me 3 years ago. And the interesting thing is everybody says, I have a great idea for an app. So the first question I asked them, which is very quickly followed by the second question, is this. You got a great idea for an app. How does it make money? And most people cannot answer that question. No, if you want to be a missionary, that's great. But missionaries normally get eaten by the natives or starved to death. That's been the history of it, right? That is pretty much the reality, right? So if you want to go out and save the world, that's fantastic. And I'm not the one to stop you. But the thing is, if it can't make money, you can't get downloads because download has become, like everything else, a paid activity. And everybody talks about how bad Google's got and how bad search's got. You think that's bad? Go on to the Apple store. And most guys start with Apple because there's more money. And I recommend to anybody to start with Android, right? Because if you start with Android, the reason is that when you can actually get people, you can use search and you can use all of that type of stuff to get people to click. Because if you click on if you're with an Android phone and you click on the Google link and go to the Google Play Store on your computer, you can actually hit the install button on your computer and it turns up on your phone. Apple don't do that. Right? Apple are the most unfriendly download guys because Apple want to own the ecosystem. They actually just want to own it, right? So
that's really cool.
It's extremely clever, and it's very, very good. Like even for me, when we're doing apps or developing apps or doing anything like that, when the guys can send me the APK, which is the Android version of an app, they can email it to me, and I can actually open it on my phone and install it on my phone. I don't have to go through the stores to do it. Right? So Google is Google's much more fluid. So the first question is how are you going to make money? Second question is how are you going to find downloads? Because it's got extremely different. So then when it goes to any business, like people use mobile differently. So search or social media. You're doing a social media ads. It's one of the reasons I asked Matt earlier about the whole mobile thing, right? Because what like he's doing mobile responsive sites. A lot of people are only know. So I'll search on this. If you've got an offline business, right? I'll search on this for your telephone number.
Right.
Okay. I will search on this to go into Google Maps to find you. If you're not registered in Google Maps and you don't have a click to call me button and a click to find me button on your website, you're insane. I can't say it stronger than that. It's complete insanity. And the amount of it, especially this side of the water, because to be fair in the States, you're always that bit more advanced than we are on the technology. The amount of businesses I go meet that have a website, have no idea what it's for, and actually have their site's not mobile responsive. It's not. No, over here, we're still only getting about 45% of traffic via mobile. Right? Okay. We're still not up to the 75% that you're at. But the interesting thing about it is it's coming because whatever
that makes me think that there's huge opportunity where you are.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong.
But you're not wrong because Google have even changed it. So if you go on to Google AdWords, which we've talked about, and you look at that in your mobile, on desktop it says click here for a link. On mobile it says click to call, click to get directions, or click to go to website. Yeah. Now Google know more about us than our mother.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're recording every keystroke we're doing, whether we like it or not, whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant, right? That's what they're doing. So if they're doing this and you're not doing that on your site or on your offer or on your page or whatever you're doing, you're just throwing money down the bin. The other thing is, if somebody goes in and starts, you do Facebook ads. I would run separate Facebook ads. I would run separate social media ads for mobile than desktop. I would always create a separate ad and run them separately. The reason is the landing page. If I get them, because one, if you use a social login instead of an opt-in for the email address, it will convert more because all they've got to do is hit a button. And the other thing is that fascinates me is then I get to something and you want me to download it. No, we all know that the memories on these are now bigger than the first laptops, but they're still crap.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Most guys with an iPhone have a 15 gig memory. Right? Yep. So they've got their music, they've got their photos, they're doing it purposely, so they're setting it virtual storage.
They judge it more cautious, like, well, I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, but but people don't you don't download your phone. You don't even download music anymore to your phone.
Right.
Like, come on. It's fascinating. People say to me, the music industry isn't making very good money in the rest of it. I keep kind of going, am I the only sane person in the asylum? You know? Yeah. Because it's really, is it? You know, because you're now paying $9.99 a month to Spotify, $9.99 to Google Music, Apple Radio, all of these things, and you're not. But as we talked, you're not buying it anymore. You're renting it, and if you take that's $120 for the year, right?
Yeah.
So in today's terms, you buy an album for about $7-8. Let's call it 10 to make life easy. We have a guy calling in, so let's bring him in. And so Ben the gangster. You can get on, Ben. You're coming in. You know, so that's interesting to see what's going to happen there. How you doing, man?
Dying. If you cared about the living, make it a better place for you and for heal the world.
Ben's killing it.
The charge 2 times. The media fuck them over. Fuck all of the lies in the sky.
See you, man. I'm Ben. Yeah.
Bye, Ben. We took a chance.
Yeah. You know, you let him in. You see what happens. You know, it was emotional. You know, so the interesting thing is, you know, people aren't downloading stuff. So when you go and you create an opt-in and you get people to opt in on mobile, have a separate funnel where they're not asking them to download. You email it to them because they'll get it on their laptop, or you make it available online because we know they can read it online. Right. Yeah. So I could talk this for 6 weeks. I'm not going to, because you're going to go next, and we'll share a bit of your stuff with the guys because it's fascinating. And then hopefully Matt will be on. And at that stage, I don't know about you, brother, but I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, my eyelids are getting heavy.
Well, you've done much better than me on the toilet breaks, I have to say.
It's
So-
the diapers, man. It's the diapers.
When they're transcribing this, guys, you can leave this section out.
Yeah. Break. No, that's awesome. Yeah, with the mobile, we saw it as well from a local, just to add a bit. We worked with some franchises, and they had over 30 locations or something throughout the United States. And that was the main thing, is when someone would garnish, like even just 1 point of value for having what we call it NAP here, name, address, phone number. So if you had that and you ranked for it, let's see, we have another caller. I'm weary. No, that was not Matt.
No?
So if you ranked, you would get the majority of the traffic, from the local searches on the mobile phone. And those businesses, since we were tracking across 30 businesses, you could see the lead volume, the difference in lead volume across the board between the two. Yeah, I see there's two Matts, but the Matt that we're waiting for is not the one that's calling in.
Well, want to let him in? Let's see what happens.
I say no. It's been 5.5 hours here of challenge. Maybe the Matt that's trying to call in, he could chat on the right-hand side and let us know what he wants to talk about first. We haven't had good luck with letting random callers in.
No, it's been kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Time zones, he says.
What?
No thanks.
Okay, he's in the time zone. Good man. That's nice to know. So are we.
Yeah, so with mobile, I mean, the way that someone's searching, especially for a local service, you want to show up. And with these, noticed that by tracking that it was huge to have those listings. I see Matt Basak, or at least I did see him.
He's gone and gone, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at this stage of the game, I've shown a lot of stuff. I think for me, I guess if it's valuable to people, I could share with them just real short what kind of the rules I use in business for starting multiple businesses, restructuring businesses to get them so that they actually sell and make revenue.
Actually, don't. No, don't.
No?
All right?
Okay.
No. What I want you to talk about is, because you told me something today. You built a ad agency that went from 0 to $1 million in 8 months. Tell us about that.
Okay. Done. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that was simple. That was actually, it's a two-part story. So the first part story is that agency was trying to sell a service for a long time, for 1.5 years. They couldn't sell it. So we restructured it. And what we did is we came in to listen to the market, create a very unique selling proposition. And in really short terms, that is, why should you buy from us over all of the other agencies that are harassing you every single day, basically? Because anyone in this world will know you get tons of emails from people saying, I can do SEO for you, I can do ads, I can do all this stuff, right? So we had to sit down and say, okay, look, we're not going to be another one of those guys because they're not selling, and they were doing this before and it was not selling. So we came up with a very unique selling proposition that made it very easy for people to buy from us and to say, holy smokes, I need to buy from you versus all of these other choices that I have available to me. And that is the one thing that I notice most businesses do not spend enough time working on nor testing. And then they go out into the world and they try to advertise, they try to cold call, they try to do all this stuff. And then they wonder, oh, it's not selling. It certainly isn't my fault. So it's the world's fault, and this whole thing sucks, and I'm not going to do it anymore. But you have to be harsh on yourself. You have to say, look, if I were the buyer, would I want to buy what the hell I'm selling? And if your answer is not an immediate, like, hell yes, then it's a good time to, go back to the drawing board and come up with that really good offer. Because in my experience, if you have that good offer, you could be one of the worst marketers, worst advertisers in the world, and you're still going to do somewhat well because you have a better offer than what everyone else has. So you can go out there with sloppy means and push that offer onto the world. And since it is better than what the other options are to them, you will get some of that business. But if you do it the other way around, where you spend a bunch of money on ads, you try to do all this SEO and paid traffic and all this stuff, and your offer is garbage, good luck. You're not going to get the sale. And if you do, it's not going to be very long lived, and life is not going to be pleasant for you in terms of business. So take the time to have the best offer. It's a lot easier to get sales that way than it is to, just try to sling a so-so or a really bad offer for that matter onto the world. And I've experienced it over and over. So I'm not, just saying this from something I read. It's from seeing both sides of that fence. But that's all I got.
Okay, so guys, so far on this Marketon, we have raised, we're now at, let's see, 6275 for Dylan. I am going to leave you into a few secrets. We are recording this. It is going to be transcribed into a book. We are going to do some more follow-on interviews with some of the guys and build out some of the topics. And we're going to have some bonus interviews as well with some really the top people around the world. We are going to give you access to that content. We are going to be charging for it. Hello.
Hi, Tony.
We're still going.
Here's some tea.
Oh, thanks.
I'll have coffee, thanks.
Hold on.
Oh, very cool. So we will be giving you access to all of the content, all of the tips, and the offers from each one of the guys, so that you can go and access with them. I've talked to Tom. We're going to set it up a member gate. So we'll set the whole thing up. You'll be able to get in access to it, and we are going to be asking you to help more. If we raise enough money for Dylan, and if we raise more money, there are plenty of other people that can be helped. We will make sure that the money goes to the right places. You have our word on that. So, guys, just bear with us for a couple of minutes. We're just going to chat. We're waiting for Matt Basic. Matt's our last speaker. He's been involved in his master.
And I want to just thank everyone, because I know, we've been on this for almost 6 hours now, right? That's a long time. And a lot of people have come on and shared really good information. I mean, information.
It's been amazing. I've enjoyed it immensely.
When you asked what's the 3 things, what that allowed, I don't know if most people realize this, but if you go to a lot of events, you'll see that what that did is it sliced it down so that people only shared the real stuff.
The Marketon is in aid of the Dylan Peters family. Dylan Peters has been battling brain cancer since he was 10 years old. He is now 22 years old and has been... The Marketon is in aid of the Dylan Peters family. Dylan Peters has been battling brain cancer since he was 10 years old. He is now 22 years old and has beaten it 4 times. This 5th time the tumour has taken over. Dylan is a kind-hearted man that would do anything for anyone. The Marketon is in aid of the Dylan Peters family. The Marketon is in aid of the Dylan Peters family. Dylan Peters has been battling brain cancer since he was 10 years old. He is now 22 years old and has beaten it 4 times. This 5th time the tumour has taken over. Dylan is a kind-hearted man that would do anything for anyone. He has been dealt a hard hand of life, but has always made the best of his situation and has always been so strong. His mother Kim has been by his side from the beginning and has recently taken leave from work to be with Dylan. Kim's absence from work has left a deficit in their financial situation, which is the last thing she needs to be worried about at this time. And that is why we would ask you to donate now by clicking on the video or going to gofundme.com/VTWWWYTG and give what you can. Every single penny, every dollar, every $10, every $100 really counts. Thank you for your help.